Hi everybody, my name is Beatrice and welcome to Storytime with Bee. Today we're going to be reading Before She Was Harriet, written by Lisa Klein Ransom, illustrated by James E. Ransom. Lisa Klein Ransom, best known for her NAACP Image Award-nominated picture book biography of Harriet Tubman, Before She Was Harriet, and her middle grade novel Finding Langston. The Children's Book Council named James E. Ransom as one of the 75 authors and illustrators everyone should know. Currently a member of the Society of Illustrators, Ransom has received both the Coretta Scott King Award for Illustration and the IWY Honor Award for his book, The Creation. He has also received a Coretta Scott King Honor Award for illustrations for Uncle Jed's Barbershop, which was selected as an ALA notable book and is currently being shown as many feature on Reading Rainbow. The reason why I'm reading this book is because, well, recently me and my family watched the movie Harriet and I absolutely loved it. So since it's February and it's Black History Month, I thought that it would be good to read Before She Was Harriet, a book on Harriet Tubman. I got this book at my library, and it's actually signed by the author and the illustrator, and I thought that was cool, and that's another reason why this book is very interesting, not only because it's about one of the world's greatest people, and it's also been signed by the author and illustrator, so I thought that was also cool. So, now, let's dive into the story. Before She Was Harriet, written by Lisa Klein Ransom, illustrated by James E. Ransom. Here she sits, an old woman tired and worn, her legs stiff, her back achy. But before wrinkles formed and her eyes failed, before she reached her twilight years, she could walk for miles and see clearly under a sky lit only with stars. Before she was an old woman, she was a suffragist, a voice for a woman who had none in marriages, in courts, in voting booths. Before her voice became soft and raspy, it was loud and angry, rising above injustice. Before she was a suffragist, she was General Tubman, rising out of the fog, armed with courage, strong in the face of rebels and planters and overseers as they watched fields burn and bridges fall and 700 slaves stop chopping and start running, to a woman who ferried them to freedom on the Kenby River, turned River Jordan. Before she was General Tubman, she was a Union spy, carrying secrets across battlefields to soldiers fighting in the Civil War for President Lincoln to end slavery. Before she was a Union spy, she was a nurse, caring for those hit with bullets and hatred and fear, tending to them with bandages and words in the bloody dirt and Southern soil. Before she was a nurse, she was Aunt Harriet, daughter of Ben and Rit, who helped her parents flee their master and find their way through woods and streams to the safety of Canada and a new home in the North. Before she was Aunt Harriet, she was Moses, a conductor on an underground railroad with no trains and no tracks, just passengers traveling to freedom up north, through swamps, past slave catchers, across rivers, under the cover of night. Seeking the promised land for her people, led by dreams and God and faith, a wisp of a woman with the courage of a lion. Before she was Moses, she was Minty of Maryland, of one slave owner and then others who worked her, punished her with lashes, broke her back, but not her spirit. Before she was Minty, she was Araminta, a young girl taught by her father to read the woods and the stars at night, readying for the day. She'd leave behind slavery along with her name and pick a new one, Harriet. And remember her days as a suffragist, as a general, as a spy, as a nurse, as Aunt Harriet, as Moses, as a conductor. As Minty, as Araminta, who dreamed of living long enough to one day be old, stiff, and achy, tired and worn and wrinkled, and free. To the guiding force of all the women who have led the way through courage, strength, perseverance, and intellect, Harriet Tubman. Sojourner Truth, Fannie Lou Hamer, Toni Morrison, Michelle Obama, Viola Davis, Anne Snead, Ernestine Klein, LCR. To Black women who have carried the weight of their family and worked with the grace and dignity, JR. So, I don't know if any of you at home who are watching this video have noticed, but if you actually listen to the story's words, it's written in form of poem, not like regular normal sentences. And since the inauguration in 2021, Amanda Gorman and her poem, poetry has been getting a lot of attention, and this was written in 2017, so it's not because of Amanda Gorman's poem, which if you haven't seen the poem, it's amazing. So I also recommend watching that. If you might be able to find this book in your own public library, at your school library. If you I recommend reading this book on your own sometime. I love this book. It's a really good book in my opinion. Thank you for joining us for Storytime with Bee, and I hope you join us for our next story. The title of the story is The Youngest Marcher, the story of Audrey Faye Hendricks, a young civil rights activist. Bye!
Oh, down. It's not a race.
I know. Here she sits, an old woman, tired and warm. I need a drink.
Yep.
Daughter of Ben and Rit, who helped their parents. But when I swirl it around it into my mouth, it makes it a little fresher. Punish her, bleh.